Welcome to Brox and Max. Like and subscribe. Today, going on a little road trip. Got me, my gal. Got a doctor's appointment we gotta go make in Syracuse, New York. So any of you dudes that have obligations to take care of out of town, of course you go on Facebook Marketplace. Of course you scrounge around and see maybe we can do something while we're out there. Stay tuned. So this is what we went after our appointment in Syracuse. About an hour northwest, western New York area. Has the Brockway casted in the tank. This, I believe, is off of a early to mid-teens, along with some steering columns, generator, carburetor, which that really wasn't what I was after. And then there was some hood latches, a distributor that I don't think belongs to it, steering box, which clearly does, with this, the way this works with the adaption there. But all original wheel, like both, they're perfect. Been in a barn for 50, 60, 70 years, whenever they decided to take the truck apart and make a hay wagon out of it, like most Brockways changed into once they quit using them, whether the motors went bad, transmissions went bad. That was like a thing. I have a few of them that were like that, went on old farms that were in the frames and the chassis were in the hedgerow. That's what their last job was either a hay wagon, a fruit stand, or whatever. So the idea is this radiator should fit this truck up here. So with some careful measuring with the other one that I have, I think this is gonna jive. It should all coincide with each other. I'll find out in a few moments. This truck here just doesn't look right without its badge or its pants or its shirt, whatever you want to call it. It just doesn't look complete. And not saying that the radiator and radiator surround casting will make it complete. I'm a little bit disappointed that the guy didn't have the hood. If they did all that stripping the truck apart and saving all the pieces, where'd the hood go? But beggars can't be choosers here, so we'll see what this looks like once it's installed. So this is a mid to late teens. I am not sure the model because the ID tag is off of it, and it's so early that I haven't spent the time to sit down and see in the older books what model this could have been for the time period. So my initial instinct was to go to this truck and compare notes on the radiator that I got from Marketplace today. So this, as you could tell, is very similar. The tubing, this is original. I thought maybe that radiator, the core could have been changed in, let's say, the 30s or the 40s, whatever, and that's just all that was available at the time. But the dead giveaway of why the radiator I just bought for that chassis will not work is these ears. My radiator does not have that. They are mounted at the bottom, which isn't the end of the world. It's not like you can find these anywhere. So my main objective is to try to make that truck look more complete. The guy that I bought the parts from said he had a lot of interest. People wanted to hang the radiator in their garage or build something out of it, and that just wasn't for me. I want to make my collection here just a tad more complete, and that truck just does not look good without its radiator. So I'm going to do, I think it will fit. It just needs maybe a piece of angle iron or something to just bolt it down onto this front piece here. See, because that doesn't have that, it will drop in where it's supposed to. It's just going to look not exact like this one is, and this truck is extremely similar to that chassis up there on the hill. This truck is a sneak peek to my other 100 Years of Rust 2 video that I have not created yet. So stay tuned for this one, because I forgot to add it in my first video. And it's heavy. This is about 150 pounds up that hill, but all in good fun. I actually forgot to mention, I do know what radiator this belongs to in the particular model Brockway, and I'll show you that shortly here. So this is a Model S that is going to be in my other video. This one is 1923, and this is the radiator. Very similar anyway. You can see that the fins are a little bit less, but it still has the same radiator cap, same dimensions, different core. Like I said, this one's tube, so I believe that one had to have been recored once upon a time, way back in the day. But I can't tell if this would be, being this is a 1923, I don't know if the double fins, because the other one had more fins, so I'll never be able to know if this was an early design or a later design, whether the double fins started first, maybe late teens, and this is later, the early 20s. So it's all a guess to me, but the whole idea is just to preserve some history here. So as you can see, even though it technically is not supposed to be there, as you can see, it's got the holes like I told you in the other truck. Should have ears. I'll probably just make a piece of angle iron on this piece for just a plate for it to sit on, and probably tie it to maybe the steering column or something that's a little bit sturdy, and then that'll be more complete. People aren't going to be like, well, what's that? How do you know it's a Brockway? Even though I can tell, because it's got the cab skirt here, that it was once a C cab. It was like up, open in the front, open sides, no doors. Wood, obviously, that's why it's gone. And we'll make do. I mean, it's close. Look at, even I put a radiator hose on there. Maybe I can get it running by the end of the night. It's all in good fun. I try to preserve these antique trucks, no matter however which way, for static display, take them to a parade, take them to truck shows. Like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video of complete madness that goes on in my head. trying to preserve this particular piece for more conversation.